In this video, me and Fitty.eth sit down with Chef Spike to talk about food and its involvement in the NFT community.
I didn't even know NFTs were like 8 months ago, which is crazy. I thought they were just over expensive pictures that people are wasting their money on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like I didn't know. But when you figure out what it is, it's like the next best thing to chocolate cake.
Totally. Totally. This morning I woke up, we had as you know, we did our sliceless mint today, and I fucking woke up and I felt like it was Christmas. Like I felt like, it was like a weird feeling. I was like, man, I haven't felt that, like those kind of butterflies, like, oh, like what, I'm getting ready to fucking unwrap something, something exciting happening. So it's pretty interesting. I started just digging a little bit, and I have always felt there was like interesting parallels between the underground artists and chefs. We're culinary artists, and like once I started figuring out that artists were driving more IP to their pockets and like being able to drive more value to their own brands, and then having secondary selves on the work that they put out there, my mind just started going wild. I was like, oh, wait a second, like chefs, we get fucked all the time. Like we like we make other people, we are infamous for making a ton of other people rich in the restaurant world, right? And we lose IP all over the place. I was telling 50 the other day, I was like, we get invited.
It's Fitty.
50. But yeah, so basically just wanted to build like a huge marketplace for this world to exist, basically, because if there's no demand from the food and beverage industry, chefs won't really succeed in this space, right? So at the precipice, that's the whole idea. The Chefty Pizza project specifically was for me to get my feet wet and start to understand this world, right? Like as a trial. Fitty actually really kind of inspired me. I thinking it was like 6-7 months ago, really early on, where we had all the artwork ready to go, but my utility was shit, right? Like I
remember we talked that day and you're pulling your hair a lot.
Yeah.
He was like so stressed out, and I felt bad. But one thing about like when I talk to people, I always think about the community, and I was thinking like, what is going to be their value? Like I get you guys is you and Tom Colicchio, and you have other famous chefs, and I love the idea. But I'm thinking to myself, what is going to be the value? And that's how I've been thinking about my project, your project. So it's just the way my brain works when I came in here, because that's what I do in real estate. I always think, okay, when I build a house for $10 million or $5 million, why are people going to pay for it? Yes, the neighborhood is going to be great, but what are they going to get out of it? Well, they want maybe a cool barbecue, maybe a movie theater. You know what I'm saying? Just really bringing value to something. And I think Chef here really got it quickly, because we haven't talked for a little while, but you've come through today with a really big bang, like a totally different product, which I love.
Well, that's refreshing to hear, man. I mean, like, the exact advice was like, yo, your utility, Spike, is like chefs. Like like people want to interact with them. Like people want to like have meals cooked by them. They want to go to their restaurants and have like something special on the menu that no one else can get, right? And
yeah, I didn't want a recipe for a frozen pizza.
It's exactly, I remember, you're embarrassing me now. I was pitching like, listen, like I could start a CPG brand with frozen pizzas and like send them, and it was silly, but I was just like, I was hustling to learn the space, and he kind of set me on the right path. So I just persisted basically, and we took our we kind of took a step away from like rushing to do the project. The other good advice was like, guys, like you're very early, like
slow down, just like, make it good.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was like you don't have to rush and like, because you end up paying for it, leave a bad taste in your mouth, and you might not ever enter the space again, you know what I mean? So that was also really good advice. So yeah, we took our time, and as we started building and we announced our project and opened up our Discord, that's where everything started to make a lot more sense, because as you guys know, like the community starts to talk to you, right? So I always tell people, you open up a restaurant, it's actually the restaurateurs that listen to their customers over the course of those first month, 2 months, 3 months, and make these sudden adjustments to some of the menus, or like maybe like they want a happy hour, there's like a brunch or whatever it is. If you listen to your customer base, usually that's where you gain loyalty, right?
Yeah, isn't that weird? It's like, to know how to sell something, you ask a group of people, they tell you what they want, and then you make it and give it to them, and then they buy it. And for some reason that it sounds like it's easy, but
Yeah.
that's not how we do things. It's always this like, I have this great idea. I'm going to make this whole thing and then I'm going to put it out there and then I'm going to make people want it. And it's like, but did they tell you they want that? Because if they
Right.
didn't, they might not actually buy it. So
Well,
that's
it's so
super
funny.
smart.
It's so funny because we have so many great restaurants in LA, and they're my favorite for a while, and then after a while, it just the buzz goes away, and I think it happens everywhere, and I have a lot of chef friends that I talk to. One of the chains that I actually love is Hillstone and Banderas. I'm sure you know about it. And I know the guy that started it. I mean, there's about 40 franchises. Well, he didn't franchise; he owns all of them. But he literally has a training program for his chefs and for his help. So there, when you go to Banderas in Brentwood, they closed during COVID, which sucks. They literally would have 5 people serving your table, your water, your silverware, and the service has always been amazing. I'm sure you've been to Banderas, right, Spike? Yeah, I know you have.
Oh yeah.
And any of the R&D kitchen or any of the Hillstone or Rutherfords in Napa, they're all amazing because it's run by a top-notch company, and just the whole program is amazing. So I think it's a great space to bring food and mix with life experiences to Web3. And I think what you're doing is awesome. And I think it's going to do really, really well. I'm excited about it. And I don't know if you know, Chris, but Chef loves juice. He loves banana juice.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I got a ton of banana juice.
He juices. He's all about the apocalyptic apes. Yeah, he's a juicer.
I'm a big juicer. I'm a big aper, apocalyptic aper to be specific, because there's a lot of apes out there. But that was another part, like the whole ape community, like really, I was listening on these Twitter spaces and I would learn about floor price and rarity and like what's happening, and like take your time, don't be in a, and I would just, I would kind of creep. It was a little weird because I have a blue check mark, obviously, because I'm like a chef, and in this world, in my career, I've done well. So I'd get like bumped up right to the top of the Twitter space, and I was like, oh fuck, like I just want to like just sit back and just like listen in, and not try to get too much attention. And but everything went well. I mean, like, yeah, so I got like 8 apes, I got 8 juices. I can't, I'm still gotta go. I gotta hit your Discord and read like the updates. Maybe you can just tell me what the updates are.
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Really
does he even know about like
Dude,
snapbacks and all
so
that yet?
basically, so I don't know if you noticed, but we've had a lot of really crazy stuff with traits like the snapbacks, the blade heads, the dead sailor hat, the captain hats. Now we have a new one called the Stecky hat, which is my buddy Stecky, and they took one of the hats, the yellow banana hat, and they called it a Stecky hat. And some of the floors on like the, which is it, the crystal jewel is like 10 ETH right now on our apocalyptic apes. So yeah, you got to get in there. I'll introduce you to like Loudmouth and D-Dish. They're super cool. They're Lazy Lion guys, and they've come in and educated us, and really, really started working it. But one of the things you like, so there's 4 juices we introduced. You probably don't even know this. First one's banana juice. The banana juice makes simple, clean babies. The second one is apocalyptic juice, which is going to make mutated babies. The third one is crypto juice, will make twins, triplets, and quads. And the fourth one is tonic 22, which is super rare. You get a free airdrop of a queen. You get to breed twice with that. Your apocalyptic ape will also come back as a warrior after the breeding, so it will actually change, and you'll get a 101 after the breeding. You'll get free merch, and if we can make it cool, we'll even get a free trip to see Spike Chef at one of his restaurants in New York.
There we
Yes.
go.
There's a lot of stuff we're doing, man. I think we can get a meal on you, because I'll tell you, I miss going to New York. I miss doing fun shit.
I did know about the 4 different juices because I did read that on the announcements on Discord. So I wasn't that far behind. But then, so for instance, I have like this, I minted on public sale, like rank 54. Like I got like a really, I got one of my favorites, obviously. And so if I give that ape, well, I have to have a queen to breed, right? No matter what.
Right. Remember that apocalyptic apes to Genesis, so
Yeah.
65% of the trait will be with apocalyptic ape.
Yeah.
So the queen will be a smaller percentage of what the ape will look like, but also it depends on the juice. So like if you've got a really awesome ape and you get the banana juice, you may get a better looking breeding with that than the crypto juice or even other ones.
That blows my mind. So are you at risk of losing your rank if you give the juice to your ape? Or
No,
no.
no, because you could also choose which ape you're going to give your juice to.
Right.
So let's say you got a 54 rank. That's great. Don't breed it. Keep it a virgin.
Keep it a virgin. Okay.
Keep it a virgin.
Okay. All right.
Like, because that may be worth more down the line.
That's what. Okay. That's a little bit of what I needed to know. Like, okay,
Yeah.
so like just because you have the juice, maybe you don't want to use it if you have a rare, but if you want to up the ante on one that's a little less rare, you can breed and see what happens. I got
Right. Also, if you come in our spaces, dude, the guys like Creation was on there, and all our people, they'll answer all your questions. They're so good. I wish other projects had a space where I can go ask questions. Like, I'm involved in a few projects. I don't want to mention them, but I go ask a question. They explain it to me, and I want to feel stupid, but I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, go get that, go sync that, go download that, buy that, put that in, and do this. I'm like, okay. I just get off and like, I still don't know what they said. I just like simple. One of the things I really like, ape coin. I got apes. They drop coin. I make money. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I want pizza. I go order pizza. I get it. I eat it.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that pizza and steak it and go to Italy, get cheese and put tomatoes from Portugal.
Yeah.
And carrots from Bakersfield.
Yeah. That type of gamifying I get lost in too.
I don't. Who's got time for that?
Yeah, that's too much.
Hey, I do think though one of the things in this conversation that I can see completely blowing up in the near future is the integration of these different groups, especially these traits where you've got, you know, let's say inside of a community you've got the snapbacks and you're like, hey, all the snapbacks in LA are getting together today. The utility in this is going to be, we're with this chef, we're going to go do this event. They're going to be exclusive access to this or that. Like that access token, that's huge. That's like the unlock where even inside of a community, like maybe the community doesn't give you access to that, but that sub community in there, that's where you get all the goods. I think that could bring huge value to different collections that are trying to raise their floors and they're trying to like add some exclusivity inside of their group while not telling everybody else, oh, you can't be part of, you know, you can't be an AApe if you don't have the money to come in. It's like, no, you can hop in there and grab a floor ape. But if you're trying to get that VIP access, that's where things really get fun and interesting and experience and food and like all that AR masks that look like monkeys.
I'll tell you something that you're right about that. And I agree with you 100%, but I'll tell you what would be really hard. Like I would love to come to Chef's restaurant. But the problem is when I try to eat food with this, look what happens to it. I can't even get anything in my mouth. Like,
right to neck.
Let's pretend this was food. So if I eat it, it looks like this. So it's really hard. So like if I came to restaurants and ape, how do I eat? Would you feed me?
I would feed you for sure, dude. We figure it out. The you know, Chris, like I love that, you know, we just started stumbling upon like what you just kind of bottled up, and like we haven't put it to work yet, but like we have, for instance, we have like 100 of the Chefty pizzas that have just pineapple on it. Right, it's like the fucking cardinal sin. People like are debating about this in our Discord all the entire time. You should see like how much hype there is in this one channel. Is like, does pineapple belong or not belong on pizza? That single subject. And I do the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival every year. Like I've been doing it for the last 7 years. I know the people that run the festival. So like we're even thinking about like this micro community of people that just have pineapple. We can do like some type of awesome giveaway or collab with them where they get like tickets to the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival, right? And they get to partake in like a couple of the events over there. So even trying to pull out like certain traits to represent like different culinary experiences, just like the snapback, right? Like that's something. And then like to take even one step further, like, well, wouldn't Dole want to get behind this?
Totally.
Right? Like
Yeah,
what a fucking amazing, like, you know, like kind of things like that.
What you're saying is Web 2, Web 3. That's it. That's the connection. What's interesting, what you just said about the pineapple. So we were on a Twitter space about a month ago with one of my close buddies, Paul. I met on a space, and he lives in New Haven, Connecticut, and he swears that's the best pizza in the world. Okay, now let me tell you something. I saw a picture of that pizza. It looks like a car ran over it. Maybe it was just a bad picture. But then you had 2 Italian guys from New York and a dude from Chicago. Hey, hell no. Best pizza's Vinny's downtown here. Yeah. So we had literally this went on for a month. It's still going on, by the way. And the funny thing is people love to debate. So if you give them a debate on a healthy topic, this is so much better than debating about Trump and Biden. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is healthy. This is
Totally.
a fun debate. And if you turn this debate into a friendship where people can actually come to you and say, you know what? Fuck this. Let's go try both pizzas.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's do that. And we could throw the word fuck this out because Gary Vee does it.
Yeah.
Totally. So
Yeah, I think that's even, you know, one of the things that our guy D-Dish is always talking about is those like healthy rivalries, right? Where, yeah, you literally could be like, my pizza's better than yours, but what if it's the people that don't like seafood, right? And they're like, oh, I wouldn't, you know, I don't want to be the dead sailor hat. I don't want to be that because, you know, those guys have, you know, they're paired up with a sushi chef or whatever, and they're always going to that sushi spot. I don't eat that sushi stuff, you know, like I'm the steak and potatoes guy, and that's a different trait. And, you know, having those different people that you're aligned with. I love that you said dole, because, well, what if there's the big, you know, company that sponsors the saw blades, you know, or whoever it is, like
Totally.
there's endless opportunity there for
I
everybody.
don't know if I told you guys, but the Blades guys in our so we've got an Apocalyptic Apes. We got the Blades blade head like thing they started. So these guys are like talking to Home Depot now, trying to get some sponsors from that.
Yeah, like Milwaukee
Hector
Tools
or
or something.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
just
so
look,
cool.
like the whole thing is like, I mean, honestly, that like I've been on this since probably 8 a.m. today, and I'll probably be on this for another 10 hours today. And when I wake up, I'll be on again, and it's still not enough time. You know,
Yeah.
I spoke to John Terry for a little while today. I spoke to James, one of his guys from another project. And you just meet such fascinating people like Spike, and you have some crazy cool partners. Who are your partners, Spike? I know there's Tom. Who else is on there?
Yeah, so Tom is my partner for our PFP project, the pizza one, and then additional chefs that we've onboarded to be potential partners in our larger project, which is a Chefty Pass. So, like, Chris, one thing I didn't tell you is like when you mint a Chefty pizza, you'll automatically be eligible to mint for free plus gas fees. Is obviously a Chefty Pass, which is like a 10,000 NFT project. And the reason why we're doing that is because as we were onboarding chefs, I didn't realize I wasn't going to be able to make them part of the Chefty Pizzas contract, the smart contract, right? But that didn't really matter because anyways, the bigger idea was this larger than life marketplace where they can all live within. So, you know, I have Ming Tsai, which is, I don't know if you know him. He's like amazing chef, right? We have Tom Colicchio, Rocco DeSpirito, Jennifer Carroll, Kat Cora, which is an Iron Chef. You know, and that's just to name a few. We have about 24 of those A-list chefs in our Discord. I think about a half of them will be part of the smart contract of the larger project. But just because you're not part of the smart contract doesn't mean you can't win if you're a chef coming in, right? Because the idea is right now our Discord's at 3,000, right? But soon it'll be at 10,000, 20,000, right? And the importance of that is because Tom and I spent a lot of time and caught a lot of shit. And as you guys know, it's a lot of work to get these things going. So the favor is like, guys, if you're interested in the space, come play in our sandbox. And if you want to do your own project, launch in with it on our Discord. Launch it under the Chefty brand. We'll take a minimal percentage for that, right? Because like our assets are already out there, our pizzas, our Chefty passes. And then when other chefs start to bring their brands to the table, like the ones that they work with, it starts to get even more interesting. You know, we threw like a pizza party in our Discord very early on. We did about 3 of them. And literally what people had to do is they had to go buy in their own ingredients with their own money. So basically we're sending them to go buy branded items, right? And they had to take a before and after picture. The before picture was all the food items and the brand sitting on the table. The after picture was the finished pizza, right?
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, they would submit these pizzas, and Tom and I would virtually just jump on Discord and judge their pizzas based on the ingredients they bought, the flavors that we know will work, and what the pizza will look like. Because I can tell if there's a bad fucking slice of pizza or a good one. Right? I can.
I'll still eat it.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I'll still
eat it. If the crust is good, I'll still eat it with some beer.
Gluten? What about gluten crust?
Forget gluten. If I'm gonna eat pizza, I'm gonna eat regular,
like matzo pizza. But
exactly.
but the so that was really interesting because we were literally out of nowhere. We hadn't even sold an NFT or anything. We were sending our community to go like invest in brands, right? So when I had this uni pizza and this tomato sauce company approached me for about a sweepstakes on my Twitter the other like 2 weeks ago, just out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like,
Did you say uni pizza?
Yeah, wow.
Uni-
I'm still stuck on uni pizza.
Dude,
Wow.
I just had uni pasta a week ago. It was
oh,
unbelievable.
uni the oven, like
Oh, I had uni
Okay.
like urchin.
I was thinking urchin too.
Yeah, I
No,
was
we
gonna
must be
say that is
urchins.
not a
You guys
pizza
suck.
I'm interested in. Yeah.
uni pizza can be done for sure.
But I gotta jump on this call because this is Australia stuff. But if you we could pick it up tomorrow or another day. We'll do
Yeah,
some
we'll
more
pick it
stuff.
up. We'll do a round 2 of this anyway. This was great.
Yeah,
I mean, I
you're
think we got a lot of
launching.
cool ideas in here.
When is your public mint tomorrow? Right.
Yeah, tomorrow 3 p.m. is public mint. Please.
Perfect. So we're
Yeah.
going to be on at 12 o'clock on Twitter Spaces live with the Apocalyptic Apes and Spike, Chef Spike.
Chef Spike.
See you, brother.
Later, guys.
Awesome.
All right, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about big companies working with sub-communities inside of NFT projects. I thought that was pretty cool. See you next time.